three castles. This one is the first one. The name is St. George's Castle or Elmina Castle. And this castle was built by the Portuguese in 1482. There's another castle in Accra, the capital city. It was built by the Danes, those from Denmark, built it in 1661. And also we have another one in Cape Coast. From here to Cape Coast is like about 20 minutes drive. It was built by the British in 1665. And apart from the three castles, they built a lot of forts. The smaller ones, they built more than 40 along the coast of this country, some for the same trade. But when you follow the history, the Portuguese were the Europeans who came to this place first. They came here 1471, and they were here to trade and also to spread Christianity. So the Portuguese brought guns, gunpowder, tobacco, alcoholic beverages, even mirror in exchange of gold from the locals. And then they were getting a lot of gold at that time. That is why they named this place Elmina. So Elmina means the mine. Gold
The mine. The gold mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is not the original. But before the coming of the Portuguese, the original name used to be Anomansa. It's one of our languages.
Okay.
When you translate it into English, it's inexhaustible water, or water that does not get finished. So when they were doing that, this castle wasn't built. Portuguese were sleeping in their bed ships on the sea. And they were under tent here, so all the goods from here straight to the ships. And as time went on, the trade was expanding. So they needed places to sleep and also to store their goods. The leader of the Portuguese went to see a chief because when they came, there was a chief around. The name of the chief was Nana Kwamna Ansa. That's the chief they met. And the one who led the Portuguese here, the name was Don Diego de Azambuja. And according to the history, they went to the chief several times for this piece of land to be given. But initially, the chief was reluctant to give out the land, citing future cultural differences. But upon persuasions and assurances, the land was later given. And they built this castle 1482. And when they built it, they were using all the rooms on the ground floor as storerooms. But when the evil trade started, the same rooms were converted into dungeons.
When the what?
The slave trade.
Okay.
I termed it like that.
You said evil. I thought you said evil. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so
It was.
The same rooms were converted into dungeons. So in this castle, no toilet facilities for the slaves. You have to put containers in the dungeons for them to ease themselves. You know, slave trade started in 1500 or in the early part of 16th century, and that began what is known as transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah. I just really realized why it's transatlantic, because it's the Atlantic Ocean. I never paid attention to that. I've heard that a lot.
So the Portuguese spent 155 years here, and the Europeans were also attacking themselves. So Dutch defeated the Portuguese in 1637, 29th August, and took over the border. And look, when the Dutch were attacking the Portuguese, some came from seaward, others from inland. So the Portuguese could not do anything. Surrender. And I told
The
you,
Dutch attacked the Portuguese. Okay.
and then the Portuguese spent 155 years. When Dutch took over, they spent 235 years. And when everything was over, Dutch sold this castle to the British in 1872. So this castle, the Portuguese first, Dutch, and then British. And British also left when Ghana became independent state in 6 March 1957. So this castle is 543 years old. And it is the oldest and then the largest castle in the world in terms of transatlantic slave trade.
Gotcha.
And you see, the reason why they started transporting the Africans was that human labor were needed for plantations in America and Caribbean. And according to the history, the Americans started using the native Indians. But they said they were not strong enough, diseases, and because they knew the roots, some also tried to escape. And it was a big problem. And many people suggested that they should try the Africans and see whether it will work. Yeah, there was a priest Roman Catholic priest from Spain. The name of the priest is Bartholomew de las Casas. He was notable among those who suggested a priest. Then they captured some Africans. These Africans were sent to Hispaniola. Today we call the place Haiti and Dominican Republic. And they saw that they were able to work. They resisted all kinds of weather. They were also expert in agriculture. So since that time, the demand of the Africans became more and more. So I think this is a brief history, brief one, and then we are now going to start a tour.
Okay.
You can ask questions. You can also take pictures.
Okay.